we go, it's the Poff Pass Show. You didn't know it's the Poff Pass Show. Me and my bro, it's the Poff Pass Show. We do it, bro, it's the
Welcome on in, baby. We are here at the Solano College Sports Network studio. I'm Zach Poff. This man to my left is the one and only JT Blaze. Jake, it feels good. We finally back, baby. We got a lot coming up. We got some NFL. We're going to dish out our MVP and Super Bowl predictions. We're going to bring in the lovely Phyllis Poff, our grandma. She has a better record than any NFL expert out there, and she's going to do a Pick Six segment for you. What else we got, JT? A little trivia. You ready for current NBA trivia? We got a little bit of that. A little college football playoffs. What else we got?
We got Christmas time. That's what we got. He's a beast, and come on, man. But I'm looking so forward to this show. I really am. Christmas is the best time for sports. We both agree on that, and we're about to show you why.
Here we go. Let's jump into it. Let's talk a little NFL right now. Carolina, 14-0.
Man.
You see anybody in the NFC taking them down?
I don't. Just looking at the end of their schedule, I just don't see the teams left that they're going to play are going to be able to beat Carolina. And Carolina is just one of those teams, they find a way to win. And when you find a way to win and you have a leader like Cam Newton and you have a defense like Carolina does, I really think they're going to go undefeated in the regular season. Playoffs is going to be a whole new ballgame.
Okay, now throw a couple teams out there real quick that you think could potentially knock off Carolina. Because they're going to have to go into Carolina and win a big-time road game against maybe the best quarterback in the NFL right now in Cam Newton.
Yeah. Two teams that come off the mind right away. I think Seattle is a team that could definitely beat Carolina the way that they're playing right now. Even though they lack a run game, they have Russell Wilson, and that defense has come together and played like a team. I also think the Arizona Cardinals are another team that could really give Carolina some problems.
Big injury, though, with Tyrann Mathieu going down. That's going to affect their defense. I don't know if they're good enough now to beat Carolina without the Honey Badger.
The way that other teams have competed with Carolina, though, and I still think Arizona is more of a complete team than Carolina right now. I just think that they have more weapons, and we're still not sure what Jonathan Stewart's health is going to be when it comes to the playoffs. He is a key element to that offense, so we'll see what happens.
All right, let's run through the NFC real quick. Who you got representing the NFC in the Super Bowl?
I'm taking Arizona Cardinals. Right. Even though with them losing Tyrann Mathieu in the backfield, they still can switch up their formations. And let's not forget, Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches as far as bringing the next man up, being able to replace key guys that get hurt. Arizona was a great team last year, and they didn't even have a quarterback. They do have Carson Palmer this year. They do have a great defense, and they have one of the most explosive offenses. I think with that balance, and not forgetting their special teams, which is also a key component in their scoring ability, I think Arizona definitely has a chance to win in the tough NFC conference this year.
All right, now before we get to the AFC, I'll do my pick real quick. I love the Seattle Seahawks. I think experience is the biggest thing you can have in the postseason. It's what the Seahawks bring to the table, and that is what the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals do not bring to the table. They don't have that same experience factor. And Russell Wilson right now, once Jimmy Graham went down, Seattle turned into a better team because that made guys like Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, and Kearse to get more involved in the offense, and now it's a more balanced team in Seattle. Once Jimmy Graham went down, their offense is playing just about as good as anyone in the National Football League, and their defense is sure balling right now, too. I love the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC. Problem is, though, they're going to have to win 3 road games to get to the Super Bowl. I don't see that being a problem for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I agree. And if you look at past history, there's been a ton of teams that have got that 5th or 6th seed and have made a run through all the playoff games on the road. One of the teams is New York Giants. It reminds me of a team that can come into the playoffs hot and end up winning a bunch of road games. And we've seen it in NFL history.
Cool. Let's go to the AFC real quick. Now, a lot of people are picking New England, even though they have a ton of injuries, more injuries than any team in the NFL. The New England Patriots. You like New England, or are you going with any of the other teams?
I like New England because here's the key. They may have a lot of injuries, but guess who's not injured? Tom Brady. And guess who else isn't injured and probably can't get injured, I hope, is Bill Belichick. And as long as you have those two running things, well, unless Belichick gets hurt like that one coach on New England. I can't remember.
It's Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, he wasn't on New England at the time. But regardless, New England just finds a way to use their personnel to the best of their ability to win games. I still think they're definitely going to get home field advantage. They do not lose games in New England either. I think they're going to have a pretty, I don't want to say easy path to the Super Bowl, but they're going to find a way. And especially the way Brady is motivated this year, I don't see any team in the playoffs beating that fired guy up in a playoff game.
There is one team in the NFL that could go into Gillette Stadium and go point for point with the New England Patriots, and that guy's got 2 rings also. His name is Ben Roethlisberger. I love what Pittsburgh's doing right now. Now, Le'Veon Bell is arguably the best running back in the NFL. He went down. They haven't lost a beat with D'Angelo Williams balling in the backfield, a guy over 30 doing big-time things down in Pittsburgh. But you got Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant on the outside.
Yeah.
Big Ben is firing on all cylinders, and I like what the defense is doing. They got a young, fiery defense. They're hungry. They want it. Give me the Steelers and Seahawks. I think Big Ben is going to win his 3rd Super Bowl ring this year.
I agree with you, too. If there is one team that can make a trip to the Super Bowl in the AFC, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I kind of feel bad because I do think Cincinnati and Denver had a legitimate shot earlier in the year. But now with that question mark at quarterback, we always had a question mark with Andy Dalton. Now he may be banged up, may not be as getting as many reps because he's trying to get back from that injury. So that really hurt Cincinnati and Denver. Osweiler can do it. He just doesn't have enough experience, I think, especially with none in the playoffs. We don't know what Peyton Manning's going to come back or what he's going to be able to do either. So I just think it's easy road for New England.
And we've seen the flaws in Osweiler's game here the last few weeks against Oakland. Just couldn't get things going in the second half. Same thing again with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, how funny would it be, though, if Cincinnati got to the playoffs and won a playoff game without Andy Dalton starting?
That would be classic, and it would definitely raise some controversy in Cincinnati. But honestly, I do not see McCarron going in with that Cincinnati team and beating any of the other teams in the AFC. I just don't think he has enough experience. Same thing with Osweiler. And the playoffs is a whole different ballgame, and one of the most important components we've seen is quarterback play in the playoffs. That's usually what gets your team to the Super Bowl. And when I look at those AFC teams, I'm taking Tom Brady all day, every day.
All right, real quick. Speaking of quarterbacks, who you got MVP?
Man, it's really, for me, going to come down to Cam Newton and Carson Palmer. But I think at the end of the day...
No Tom Brady?
Tom Brady, too, but I just think he's gotten so many, and the league hates him right now as a whole. Even though a lot of guys respect him, I'm going to go with Cam Newton, just based off of record. And Carolina is the surprise team of this year by far.
Oh, easy.
If you look at what they did last year compared to this year, and how much better they've gotten, especially without Kelvin Benjamin, and the improved play of Cam Newton, I really don't think they even win half their games if Cam Newton's not playing. By that, I'm taking Cam Newton for MVP.
Yeah, and just real quick before we wrap up the segment, I got Cam Newton, too. He leads the NFL with 40 total touchdowns this year. First quarterback ever to start a season 14-0 in the NFL and finish a college football season 14-0. No one else has ever done that. Last week against the Giants, he threw 5 touchdowns, ran for 100. No one else has ever done that in the NFL. This guy is doing things no one else has ever done in the National Football League, and he's doing it with Ted Ginn and Philly Brown, his 2 top wideouts. I know Greg Olson's a bad boy, but impressive what Cam Newton's doing with the talent he has. Reminds me a lot of what Tom Brady did with the Patriots back in the day. They don't have all the talent, but they still get the job done. Now, speaking of getting the job done, we are done with this segment. Up next, we're bringing in Grandma Phyllis for the Pick 6 segment here on Poff Pass.
Hey everybody, Stash Morty here, former broadcaster of the Solano College Sports Network. And from all of us here at SCSM, we want to wish you a happy and safe holiday season.
Well, welcome back to the studio here at Solano College. You are tuned in to the Poff Pass Show. Once again, we are back. We already talked about the NFL predictions and Super Bowl predictions, but let's talk about this week, baby. It is time for the Pick segment, and we got a special. Now, before we get into it, we're going to introduce our Grandma Phyllis Poff, along with JT Blaze, who you met earlier. But what's crazy this year is my grandma has a better record than any ESPN analyst, any NFL.com analyst, and of course the guys at Inside the NFL. So with that, let's bring in Phyllis Poff. Now, Grandma, what's the one thing you do to get ready for the picks coming up that week? You got anything special you kind of do, and what's the routine like?
Well, I try to do my picks on Tuesday if I possibly can, because it's fresh on my mind after I've done the games on the weekend. And then I try not to change them because it seems like every time I change them, then I don't win.
That usually happens. So let's jump right to it. We got a big-time game going down close to where you live from, out in Phoenix, Arizona, Green Bay at Arizona. Who you got?
Naturally, I'm going with Arizona.
Every week.
I want to be loyal. So anyhow, and I like Larry Fitzgerald. He is a good player, and I like it when he catches that ball and his little feet just takes him right down to the end. He's great. I like him. So I'm going with Arizona.
Jake, we're bringing you in the mix too, baby. You got 4 wins on the season. You guys are tied going down to the wire, so I guess we'll let you have a little fun too. You taking the road team? You going with Arizona at home, baby?
I'm taking Arizona too, not because I'm a biased fan, but I'm going to actually take them off of just the way they're playing this year. I think
Because of Fitzgerald's little quick feet?
Yeah, Fitzgerald's quick feet do have something to do with it, but I actually like what their running game has been doing lately, especially Johnson. Palmer's still the leader of that team, and I think they're one of the most balanced teams in the NFL. I'm taking Arizona at home.
All right, baby. We got a big-time Monday night game, the 2 seed in the AFC up for grabs. You got Cincinnati at Denver, matchup of backup quarterbacks. You got A.J. McCarron, first Alabama quarterback to win a game in 28 years, going up against Brock Osweiler, who was named the starter here today. Let's start with Grandma, taking the road Warriors. Cincinnati, or are you going with the home team, who have one of the best defenses in the NFL, the Denver Broncos?
Well, I'm going with Denver because I like Peyton Manning, and I know he's not playing, but I'm still going with him. And he's the greatest quarterback, and I like him because he does those Papa Murphy, those Papa John's.
Papa John's, Papa Murphy, same thing, right?
Right.
Tomato.
He's a great actor.
JT?
I'm also going with Denver. I just think they're going to want to bounce back after that horrible loss to Pittsburgh. Even though it's both backup quarterbacks, I still think Osweiler just has more experience, and they're playing at home, and Denver's defense is going to be ready to do work. I'm taking Denver at home.
All right, let's head out to the AFC East. Patriots already got it locked up in that division, but a lot to play for still for New England. They can win the number 1 seed with a win in New York against the Jets. Now the Jets battling for their playoff lives also. Grandma, you going with the favored Patriots and Tom Brady, or are you going with the swag Todd Bowles brings for the New York Jets?
I'm going with New England.
Yeah, smart pick.
And I like Tom Brady, and I know he's kind of a serious guy, but he has the cutest little baby face too. So I'm going with him.
Book it. And Tom Brady and his baby face. Jake, you going with that cute baby face too?
I'm taking babyface too. Look, that babyface, you could put us 3 on that team, and I think they still would win. As long as they have babyface Brady to lead that team, they're going to win games. And I don't care who's around. They have proven this year, and Brady is on a mission to win. I don't think that stops here, especially against division rival. Book the New England Patriots all day, every day.
And before we get to the next one, just impressive what New England's doing this year. No team in the NFL has had more injuries than the New England Patriots. Usually when that's the case, you've won 2 games. New England has only lost 2 times this year, arguably the top team in the AFC. All right, let's move on to the final 3 picks. St. Louis at Seattle. Now, Russell Wilson's been playing just about as good as anybody in the National Football League. He's been big time, and I hope he has a big game. I need it this week in my fantasy football championship. No one cares about that, Grandma. Who you taking, St. Louis or Seattle?
I'm going with Seattle. Again, I like the quarterback.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson. He's really good too, and he reminds me like a streak of lightning. Goes zigzag, zigzag. He's good.
JT, who you got, baby?
I've also taken Seattle. I think they're one of the scariest teams in the NFL right now. Russell Wilson is on a mission, and St. Louis has not actually been playing that well. Tavon Austin did have a big game last week. He's going to get shut down this week. They don't have many playmakers on offense. Book Seattle all day, every day.
All right, we got 2 more. You got arguably the hottest team in the AFC right now, Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, they travel to the road to take on a rival, but Baltimore's just not the same this year. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Grandma, you smelling an upset, or are you going with the Steelers?
I'm going with Pittsburgh. I like that Big Ben guy. I can't say his last name, but it starts with an R.
There you go. That's all you need. You're copying Ed Reed now.
I'm going with him.
JT, same.
Pittsburgh all day. Baltimore's killing with injuries. And honestly, as long as Pittsburgh has Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown, I think they can beat anyone in the league. They proved that last week, what they did to Denver at home, coming back like the way they did. Pittsburgh is going to annihilate the other team. I don't even need to know their name, the Ravens.
All right, babe, we got the last one. Johnny Football going up to Kansas City. Now, Kansas City is the hottest team in the AFC. They've won 8 games in a row, and all of that ever since Jamal Charles blew out his knee. Very impressed with what Kansas City's doing. Cleveland playing a little better. Johnny Football getting things going, and he's got a lot to play for right now. If he wants to get paid, wants to do some more of this, he's going to have to perform big here these last 2 weeks. Grandma, you going with the home team, Kansas City, or do you think the Browns might pull off the upset?
I'm going with Kansas City. Don't even know too many of the players on there, but they're playing good, so that's who I'm going to go for.
Andy Reid doing a great job there coaching up the Chiefs. JT, you copying Grandma once again? You're going to copy all 6?
I have to. She's a smart woman, and she keeps making the right picks, even though it's just based off what the quarterback does. But still, I agree with Grandma. I just think Kansas City is, like you said, one of the hottest teams in the NFC right now. Cleveland still has a lot to learn, a lot to prove, but I do think Cleveland may have a chance in this game just because Johnny Manziel is really going to try and prove himself because he wants to be the starter next year, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I'm taking Kansas City.
All right, before we wrap up, guys in the back, any way we can bring that graphic up of all of the experts' picks. And, I just want to show you guys how impressive my grandma is. We're going to go down the list. Phyllis Poff, 149 and 75. Chris Mortensen, how cute. You work for ESPN. You don't know as much as my grandma. Boomer Esiason, I don't even want to get to that guy yet.
Yeah.
Phil Simms, he's the man, but not when it comes to picks. Mike G, 134 and 90. I'm better than that. Come on,
too.
Mike G. But that's just impressive what Grandma Phyllis is doing with the picks. Hey, before you go to Vegas here, if you're going for the New Year's, just listen to this. Get your bets in if you want to win some dough. Someone turned $5 into $100,000. You can do it this week here. Just listen with Grandma Phyllis. Phyllis, thanks for the time, and we hope to get you back here soon enough.
It was fun. It was fun.
Hey, don't forget,
Thank you,
Grandma.
Zach.
I'm coming for you still.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We got some NBA trivia coming up with JT Blaze. Here we go, baby.
No.
Hi, everybody. Greg Poff here in the Solano College Sports Network studio to tell you about a great opportunity here at Solano Community College, where we are the only college in the nation to have our own sports broadcasting program. So if you're interested in a career in sports broadcasting, Solano Community College is the place for you. And we offer students training in all aspects of sports broadcasting, whether it's behind the microphone, using a camera, or learning to operate our state-of-the-art TV production system in our newly renovated TV studio or out in the field covering an actual live Solano Community College sports event. At SCC, our sports broadcasting program is responsible for providing broadcasts of Solano sports events and creating shows to be telecast on Fairfield's Channel 28, as well as webcasts on our Solano College Sports Network YouTube channel and our Facebook page. So if you're interested in taking one of our sports broadcasting courses, you will find them listed in the SCC schedule of classes each and every semester under Communication Studies. Also, by the end of this spring semester, we will have a certificated program in place where you can earn a certificate in the field of sports broadcasting that has you ready and prepared for an entry-level position in that particular career. So come on over, check us out. You can find us in the TV studio in room 121 on the main campus at Solano Community College in Fairfield, California. And remember, here at Solano College Sports Network, it's more than just sports.
It's an education.
And welcome back. Now, you know, as Christmas starts to get here, NBA starts to get a little bigger and bigger. We had some big-time Christmas games. We won't get to that yet, but I will say this. Golden State, Cleveland will be a big-time matchup. But, you know, it's time for some NBA trivia. Jake, you already got your thinking cap on. You ready to go?
Thinking beanie, but I'm ready, baby. Let's go.
All right, up first. Who is leading the National Basketball Association, averaging 31.8 points per game? A, James Harden. B, Steph Curry. Or C, Damian Lillard.
Okay, if this isn't Steph Curry, I'm just going to walk out of the stadium right now. Give me B. It better be Steph Curry. It has to be. I know it's not garbage James Harden. B. Boom! Wait, it beat,
Where's
right?
the ding? I didn't hear the ding.
Woo! Thought I heard a ding, baby. Let's go.
All right, 1 for 1. All right, number 2. Who is leading the NBA, averaging 11.1 dimes per game? A, Rajon Rondo. B, CP3. Or C, maybe the most underrated superstar in the NBA, Mr. John Wall.
Oof. You know, I'm going A. I don't even know who A is.
Rondo?
Rondo.
You got it again.
Yeah!
2 for 2.
Woo!
I don't like this. All right, moving on to number 3, about
Okay.
the bruisers inside. Who's leading the NBA, averaging over 16 rebounds a game?
16.
Is it A, the Brow, Anthony Davis, B, my man, DeAndre Jordan down in LA, or the Beast out in Detroit, Andre Drummond?
I don't think it's Davis. I know he's been banged up. I'm going Drummond. C. Yeah! The kid is feeling it. He's feeling it. Woo! He's on fire, baby.
What do they say in NBA Jam?
He's on fire!
All right, here
Not
we
that
go.
long, but they say it.
Number 4.
Let's go.
How many times have the Warriors been held under 100 points this year? A, 0, B, 3, or C, 1?
Man. I'm going. I don't have my glasses on. I'm going
0, 3, or 1?
1. B.
It was C.
Yeah!
But you got it right.
I got it right.
You got it right.
The letter don't matter. The number matters. Woo!
4 for 4.
4
You've been
for
study-
4.
See, you don't study for finals at school, but you study for NBA
Exactly.
trivia here
This
on
is
Poff
sports.
Pass. All right,
It's the
number
stuff
5.
I care about.
Number 5.
Okay.
Draymond Green is tied with who for the most triple doubles this year? A, Rajon Rondo. B, the King, LeBron James. Or C, Russell Westbrook.
Man, I want to say James, but I got a feeling it's Westbrook. I'm going C. Westbrook. Ah!
Finally.
B. It's LeBron, huh?
No, Rajon Rondo.
Wow.
Rajon Rondo
Triple
and Draymond
doubles?
Green have 4. They have 4 more than LeBron does this year. LeBron hasn't had 1 this season.
What's he getting? Assists and rebounds?
Oh, yeah, what else would he be getting?
Maybe he could be getting steals. Actually,
Oh,
he actually
gosh.
is a great stealer.
Here we go. Now he's
Okay.
starting to crumble, baby. Number 6.
Hey, I'm 4 for 5. That's a B plus or an A. Okay.
80%.
It's
a
higher-
B minus.
It's a B.
The
no.
one B you didn't pick. It's 80%
Okay,
on the
okay.
dot, kid.
That's
All
why
right.
I'm a comm major. I'm not in math.
Now this is a long question.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Oh, no.
If the Warriors beat Utah tonight, they will break the NBA record for the best start in NBA history through 28 games with a 27-1 record. Whose record will they break? A, the 1995-1996 Chicago Bulls. B, the 2008-2009 Boston Celtics.
Nope.
Or C, the 1971-72 Los Angeles Lakers.
I know it's the Lakers. I thought it was the 80s team, but C all day, every day. Lake Show, baby, when we were a dynasty. What?
Yeah. They have the record for the longest winning streak, but it wasn't at the beginning of the season there, Mr.
Well,
Big Shot.
sorry if you didn't read me a novel. Maybe I could have figured it out. Gee, there was 8 sentences in there. I didn't know.
The correct answer is actually the 2008-2009 Boston Celtics.
was-
The year after they won the championship. Of course, Garnett got hurt that year and things crumbled for Boston. They're also tied with the 1966-67 76ers and 1969-1970 New York Knicks.
I want to file an appeal. That's a trick question.
Only guys winning appeals today is my man Odell
Oh, my
Beckham winning my
gosh.
fantasy football championship. All right, last question.
good for you.
Last question.
Okay.
Can he end strong or will the downfall continue?
I meant it strong. I'm going for that B.
I am the only
Oh, wait.
player in
Okay.
the NBA averaging 10 plus points per game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Who am I? A, Draymond Green. B, LeBron James. Or C, Rajon Rondo.
Oh my God.
10,
I have a
7,
feeling
7,
it's
1,
just
and
all
1.
those stats. I'm going to go with Draymond. A.
Draymond or Draymond?
Whatever. Green. Yeah!
Got it. Finish
Rack
strong.
'em, baby. 5 for 7. Not too shabby if I say so.
What's that come out to?
It's awesome for A. That's what it means. A for awesome. No, it's like a B plus, huh?
All right, baby. We're done
Okay.
doing math. Good
Wait,
job.
what's 7 divided by 50?
We don't have time for that.
Okay.
But what we do have time for is we're breaking down the New Year's 6 bowl games. We're going to pick our winners. We got that coming up next here on the Poff Pass Show. Well, you see the football, baby. It's time for some college football picks. We got my man back, baby. Stasha Moita back in the house doing his thing out in Florida. And before we get to the picks, though, how's that going for you too, man?
It's been great. You know, the weather's nice year-round. A little cold here back in Cali, but it's good to be home for the holidays and get to do a show with you. So, ready to get into these picks,
I still can't believe someone would say it's still cold in Cali, man. You just make us Californians sound pretty soft right there. But let's jump to it, baby. We're gonna do the New Year's 6 Bowl. Now, up first, we got the Peach Bowl, Houston versus Florida State. Now, what Houston has done this year is big time. They've really turned that program around. And they got a bad boy playing quarterback, Greg Ward Jr. He's a baller. But they got to go against Florida State, one of the best teams in the ACC. Now you're out in Florida. Are you going to lean towards the pick them, or are you going with the Houston boys?
You know, I'm going to go with the Houston boys just because I've been around all these FSU fans all year long and hearing that little chant, I'm just tired of it flat out. So I got to go with Houston. I have a good buddy from Houston, so he'll be happy I'm taking his boys in red. So upset right there.
You know what I'm going with? Florida State, baby. Dalvin Cook's a bad boy, one of the best running backs in all of college football. I love Florida State in that one. Now, let's go partying a little bit. Let's head down to the Fiesta Bowl. This might be the juiciest matchup we got here. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. This is easily the most prestigious matchup in all the bowl games here. And I'll start it off. I like the Buckeyes. Ezekiel Elliott's an absolute beast. Now, at quarterback, they still aren't sure what they're doing, but J.T. Barrett will be the guy. I love Ohio State. They also have a really good defense, too, with Mr. Bosa there on the D-line. You going the same, or you going with those fighting? I can't pick the Fighting Irish. I'm an SC guy.
Hey, I am a Stanford guy, so, Notre Dame is also another one of our rivals here, but OSU, what they did last year, that cost me a lot of money.
Oh,
when I was
still a little bitter.
The ZPC came true, so I'm going Notre Dame here. I felt they had a letdown, that loss against Stanford, so they're going to come in fighting Irish all the way. And Ohio State, they're just going to send their guys to the draft. It's going to be the end of their little run here. And Urban Meyer will have to restart coming next year.
Yeah, I agree with that, too. I mean, Notre Dame, a little more to play for, too. Ohio State, a lot of guys going pro. So that usually you see that. Might be the same thing with Florida and Michigan with all those Florida guys leaving early. Might be trouble for them. So we'll have to wait and see with that. All right, Rose Bowl. If you like hard-hitting, smash-mouth football, this is the game for you. You got Iowa from the Big Ten against Stanford from the Pac-12, and Stanford kind of plays that Big Ten SEC type of ball. Boy, what a year Christian McCaffrey had. Broke Barry Sanders' record for most all-purpose yards in a single season. You're breaking Barry's records. You're doing things big time. I like Stanford in that game. They're playing really well. Hogan, a very solid quarterback. Hooper, outstanding tight end. But it all starts with number 5 in the backfield, C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, you said it right, my friend. Stanford got to go with my Cardinals. Iowa with a big letdown this season. Thought they could make it in the playoffs. They couldn't squeak it in. But, it's Rose Bowl. It's a California game. Stanford's going to come down, handle their business. And I'm pretty sure good old number 5 there, he's upset he didn't win the Heisman. So he's out to prove something that he should have won that Heisman Award, and Stanford's going to win big.
It was cool to see McCaffrey, though, was named the AP Player of the Year. So Derrick Henry won the Heisman. McCaffrey able to win that. All right, now we got SEC, Big 12, Ole Miss versus Oklahoma State. This is a very even game, but since it's even, I'm going with the SEC squad. Ole Miss, the only team to beat Alabama this year, too.
That is true, but I got to go with the Pokes, Oklahoma State, shoot 'em
I know you're going with the Cowboys, man.
I have to go with the Cowboys. Good friend of mine, Victor Romero, played baseball up there, so I got to go with my boy Vic.
Too, right?
He is coaching there, and so Vic, you're going to be proud of this one. OK State takes that.
All right, baby. Can we get a drum roll? It's time for the playoff. We got number 1 Clemson versus number 4 Oklahoma. You jumping on the Sooner wagon, or you rolling with the Tigers from Clemson?
Tigers and the Clemson, they're dirty, man. That defense is going to shut down the high-flying offense of Oklahoma, and I think they're going to squeak by and win, get into the national championship game. Go Tigers.
I agree with you, man. I like Clemson. Deshaun Watson, best quarterback in college football right now. But Oklahoma's got a bad boy, too, in Baker Mayfield. So it'll be whatever quarterback plays better in that game will win that one. Both teams loaded with just absolute ballers on the outside. Sterling Shepard played high school football with Barry Sanders' son big time. But I like Clemson in that one. I think they just have a little more firepower. So we got Clemson facing off against the winner of Bama, Michigan State. Who you got, Zamoyda?
Going Michigan State. And this is my pick. Who's going to win the whole
So they're not just going to beat Alabama. They're going to win the whole thing.
They're going to beat Clemson. I mean, this Michigan State team has been resilient all year. The ball's been bouncing their way. They got great coaching staff, and they're playing as a true team. You look at that Michigan game. Michigan, all they had to do, punt the ball away.
That's it.
The ball
just catch the ball, punter.
That's all he had to do. They run it back for a touchdown. They played Ohio State. Never was ahead in that entire game.
Yeah.
Last second field goal, they win that game. Then that Iowa drive, that was the statement of the season right there. When they drove down the field and punched it in at the end, just right there showed me that this is a championship caliber team. Not going to be stopped. Go green, go white. Michigan State Spartans all the way, baby.
And the style Michigan State plays with is how you beat Alabama. You punch them in the mouth. That is how you knock off Alabama. That's what Ohio State did to them last year. So we'll see if another Big Ten team can do the same thing to Alabama. But I got Alabama. I'm going Alabama. I like Clemson, though, to win it all. They're going to finish undefeated for the first time since 1981 and win their second national championship. Dabo Swinney doing big-time things.
So you're saying that Clemson's win the whole thing?
They're going to beat Alabama.
So our buddy Mike is back in the studio, and he has a special gift for you.
Oh, what do you got? Show it. You show it, Mike. Oh, let's try it right here, baby.
You know not to take Clemson.
Wow.
You have the ZPC,
wow.
Zach Poff.
This is awesome. Hey, this is the best gift I've ever got right there. ZPC. Sorry, Clemson. With that, we got to end the show. And, hey, we're coming up with... Can't wait, baby. We got JT Blaze coming on back. Stay tuned.
Go green.
Hello, I'm Mike McLeod. This is Chelsea Williams, and we just want to say from the bottom of our heart, thank you for watching.
And if you're liking what you're seeing, you have to check out all of our stations. We have Channel 28. You can also check us out on YouTube, and we have a Facebook page.
And if you want to follow in our footsteps and do what we do, you can sign up for classes at the Solano campus. You see there, it's COM 75A and B, COM 80A and B. Those are the difference between the fall and the spring. It's in room 121 in the TV studio, Mondays and Wednesdays, 1 to 4.
And like Poff always says, it's more than just sports. It's an education.
Now, JT, we got one thing left. Come on, man. And he's a
beast.
All right, up first, let's do it. It's time for our come on, man. You do the honors. Who you got?
Look, I know I'm going to jump into the mud with everybody else here because the constant controversy we've heard this week is Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman and the whole feud going on. My problem is everyone is focusing on Odell Beckham Jr. and no one is focusing on the instigator of the whole problem in the first place, Josh Norman, and the hypocrite this guy is. For example, here's a quote from him. I just pretty much showed people what this guy really is about and what he stands for. So, I just don't feel like that's part of the game that should be played. If you want to play, let's play it straight up. Let's do it the right way. So it's the right way to intimidate your quarterback in preseason and call him all kinds of obscenities while you're competing. Second of all, is it also the right way to play when you're calling out Odell Beckham when it comes to his sexual orientation, calling him the F word and not the F-U-C-K word, I'm talking about the other F word. When you're literally coming at the guy on the field. And another example, when the whole controversy started, Josh Norman actually was upset because when Odell Beckham Jr. burned him on the first play, the next play he was upset he got burned, so he body slammed him to the ground. But none of that footage gets shown on that. My argument here is if you're going to call people out, then you have to live to that same standard. When you call guys a punk and you call guys a ballerina because they dance, when your teammates dance more than any other team in the NFL, all I have to say is hold up your own standard, man. Stop having this double standard like Odell Beckham Jr. is all at fault. And in the press conference, let's compare the two. Odell Beckham Jr. at least admits he makes mistakes. When you listen to Josh Norman's interview, it's all Odell Beckham's fault. He did nothing wrong. If you want to call guys out, then you have to live up to that standard, and you're not Josh Norman. You're not playing the right way. You're playing like a punk. Come on, man.
I don't even know how to follow that, but I do want to say a couple things real quick. What we forget in the media is you forget Josh Norman and Odell Beckham are 23, 24-year-old guys. Emotion will get the best of them sometimes, too. But I will say this, Josh Norman is the most overrated DB in the NFL. He's a cover 3 corner who doesn't cover the best receiver, so stop throwing him in the same boat as Richard Sherman, Patrick Peterson, Darrelle Revis. He's not there just yet. He's a zone cover corner. And Odell Beckham burned him the whole game, too. So realize how good you are, Josh Norman, before you start talking a little too much. Now, let's get to my come on, man. And this is a little more funny than Mr. Serious over here. Hey, Brian, let's play that clip. Now, watch the NBA here. Look at DJ Augustine. He takes like 9 steps. The ref blows the whistle, not for traveling, but the ref calls goaltending right there. Now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. Come on, man. The refs don't call traveling. You don't believe me? Watch Carmelo Anthony right here. Comes up with the steal. He's going to do a 10-step break and pull up and brick the 3. Now watch the slow-mo right here. He stops his dribble at half court. He's still walking. That's like 8 steps right there. There is no such thing as traveling in the NBA. Come on, man. Now we saw this last night, Jake. One of the best dunks of the year. Shouldn't have counted, though, because Justice Winslow takes off from the 3-point line. He banged it on Ersan Ilyasova right there. But now you'll see the replay right here. You'll clearly see Winslow pick up his dribble right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Bangs on Ersan Ilyasova. Hey, Justice, wait till he flexes at the end. He shouldn't have been allowed to flex right here. This angle shows the clear travel right there.
Oh, my God.
There's no traveling in the game anymore, man. It's sad. Come on, man. I feel bad for Ersan, though. You got stuffed on when it shouldn't even have counted because he got a running start from half court.
Hey, but really, if I was a ref, I would totally let guys dunk on each other, too. It's just funner to watch. It's entertainment, but
You know what's entertaining is he's a beast, and I'll go first. My beast is Conor McGregor. Now, this dude took 13 seconds to knock out Jose Aldo, new record in a title fight. as McGregor knocked him out in 13 seconds quick. McGregor now has won 15 fights in a row. He's got the most lethal left hand in the business. He's coming up to 155, and he has taken Rafael dos Anjos' belt. I want to see him fight my guy from Stockton, though, Nate Diaz. But Conor McGregor, you're a beast. Ooh, I like that, Brian, in the back, adding the beast graphic there. JT, who you got, baby?
All right. This guy I really think deserves to be a beast because he has a beast that came out of nowhere. He was a guy that was in a cage. He was the third starter on this team. He wasn't even allowed to show his beast ability till two other guys on the roster got hurt. And if you don't know what I'm talking about now, I'm talking about third-round draft pick David Johnson. Now, what this guy has done on Arizona is absolutely amazing. When you're a third-round draft pick and you're the third guy on the starting, and you're the third guy on the rotation, not the rotation, I already messed this up, but I don't care. Here's the point. When you're the third guy and they call on your name and you go out on the field and you beast on fools week after week. Total in the season, he has 850 all-purpose yards and 11 touchdowns for a rookie. That is sensational. But what's even more important is when they need him most, when they don't have a run game, now they have one of the best running backs in the league. What he did last week against the Eagles, 229 yards all-purpose, 3 touchdowns. That is money in the bank. This little Cardinal turned into an Eagle killer, and that is why David Johnson is a beast, and he's going to beast in the playoffs too. Mark my words. Keep beasting, baby.
Oh, and you know what's crazy is most guys in the fantasy championship games, who's the number one player owned?
Johnson.
David Johnson. But you had him and you didn't make it though, right?
No.
Yeah. So not everyone did. That's all the time we got, baby. From my man, JT Blaze right here, there's Jake Poff. Special thanks to Phyllis Poff jumping in, doing her Pick 6 segment. My man, Stasha Moida in the back, coming in, talk a little college hoops. And, of course, everyone here doing work. Money Mike coming to help out. Big Kahuna on the camera. Grandpa Raymond here doing a little audience analysis for us. And, of course, Chelsea Williams and our man Brian Nelson running the board directed. Much love, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas. Great holidays coming up. Time to drink some beer, eat some food. We got a ton of big-time sports coming on. We out here on the Poff Pass Show.
Do not pick Clemson. Do not pick Clemson.
We out, baby.